Dove Cameron and Damiano David have just confirmed what fans have been speculating about for months. They're engaged. But what makes this relationship so special, and what really lies behind their love story? Stay with us as we break down the key moments that led to this point, from their first encounters and red carpet appearances to the quiet trips that sparked early rumors. And wait until you hear what the two of them have said about their shared passion for music. You might be surprised by just how perfectly their interests align. The relationship between Dove Cameron and Damiano David first caught public attention in September 2023, when the former Disney Channel star was spotted attending one of the Måneskin frontman's concerts. Their first official red carpet appearance followed in February 2024, at Clive Davis' annual Pre-Grammy Gala, confirming what fans had already been speculating for months. While media speculation around their relationship began to grow, the couple remained relatively private and focused on a shared passion, music. According to publicly available statements, David has described how the relationship brings him a sense of peace, and how sharing and enjoying music together has become a foundation of their connection. But do you know how it all began before they ever stepped into the public spotlight together? Photos taken in Sydney in October 2023, showing Dove wearing a sparkling ring, were the first signs that something significant might be unfolding, and fans were quick to notice the detail. Photos taken in Sydney in October 2023 marked the moment when speculation truly began to gain momentum. Dove Cameron and Damiano David were seen wearing coordinated black outfits, and fans quickly noticed a subtle yet eye-catching detail: a sparkling ring on Dove's hand. At the time, there was no official confirmation, no statements, just silence. And it was that silence that only fueled public curiosity. But what most people didn't focus on wasn't the ring itself, it was the timing. As the months passed, fans began to notice subtle patterns, shared travels, similar aesthetic choices, discreet Instagram interactions. Nothing forced, nothing theatrical. Everything felt intentional, almost as if the story was deliberately allowed to unfold without outside pressure. And then came the moment when there was no longer any need for speculation. On January 3, the couple confirmed what had been discussed for months through an Instagram post. Dove Cameron and Damiano David are engaged. The announcement wasn't spectacular in the traditional sense. There was no lengthy statement, no exclusive interview, just a photo and a sense of clarity. For many fans, that very simplicity became the most powerful part of the story. But the real question isn't when they got engaged. The real question is, why did this news resonate so powerfully? They both come from creative worlds that demand emotional openness, but also a high level of discipline. Over the years, Dove Cameron has spoken publicly about her personal growth and her transition from a child star to an independent artist, while Damiano David has moved from the alternative music scene to global recognition with Måneskin. Their relationship, at least according to the statements they've shared, isn't built on contrast, but on understanding. In one interview, Damiano stated that his relationship with Dove brings him a sense of balance and peace, emphasizing that they both genuinely value each other's creative expression. That isn't a common dynamic in the celebrity world, but it's precisely why it feels so convincing. And the audience recognizes that. Fans didn't respond with excitement alone, but also with a distinct sense of respect. Comments across social media often focused on the way the couple sets boundaries, choosing privacy over constant exposure. But there's another reason these engagements drew so much attention, and it has nothing to do with the ring. It's about timing. At a moment when both are professionally stable, creatively active, and publicly perceived as people who know what they want, the engagement doesn't feel like an impulsive decision, but rather a natural continuation of the story. That changes the way the audience reacts. Instead of shock, there's understanding. Instead of doubt, support. And that's exactly where this story gains its depth. But what do these engagements actually mean for their future? And will they continue at the same pace of discretion? When it comes to the future of Dove Cameron and Damiano David, what's mentioned most often isn't glamorous ceremonies or public plans, but the possibility of creative overlap. Both are artists who don't separate the personal from the creative, yet balance the two with care. According to public statements, sharing music, listening to one another, and understanding the creative process have become the foundation of their closeness. That naturally raises the question, could their worlds eventually merge professionally? Still, what's more intriguing than the possibility of collaboration itself is the way they've made decisions so far. Their relationship developed without rushing, without the need to prove anything to the public, without the pressure to explain every phase publicly. In a world where everything is often shared in real time, Dove and Damiano chose a different approach, allowing the story to unfold quietly, yet steadily. In that context, the engagement feels less like a turning point and more like a confirmation of an already existing bond. And that's exactly why this news leaves a sense of calm rather than sensation. What the audience takes away from this story isn't just information, but a broader picture of what modern relationships in the public eye can look like. Without overload, without a constant need for validation, the engagement of Dove Cameron and Damiano David, at least based on what's publicly known, feels like a decision made from a place of stability rather than impulse. But this isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. What will their next step look like? Will they maintain the same level of privacy, or will we gradually see more shared moments, perhaps even creative projects? These are questions that only time will answer, and that's exactly why this story is just beginning. If you want a deeper understanding of how celebrity couples balance love, career, and public life, in the next video we'll analyze why more and more stars are choosing quiet over spectacle, and what that means for the future of celebrity culture. Subscribe if you want to stay updated with stories that go beyond the headlines, informative, calm, and free of sensationalism.